제 212회. 거기까지 어떻게 가요?
안녕하세요. Surprised me there. Hello and welcome to Arirang TV's Let's Speak Korean. I'm your host Lisa Kelly, and today we're going to talk about transporting ourselves back and forth in the city, and one good way is by bus. Well, before we continue on, let me introduce my co-host. Hi, Stephen.
And not just in the city, but leaving the city and getting out of Seoul. I tell you, public transportation in Korea is absolutely phenomenal, and I speak from experience because I've done a lot of traveling by public transportation. 안녕하세요. I'm Stephen Revere, and these are our two students for today.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Lisa. Hello, everyone. My name is Valentina. I came from Russia. 만나서 반갑습니다.
Thank you.
Hi, Valentina, Stephen, Lisa. Great to be here. 안녕하세요. Konnichiwa. Bonjour.
What else?
My name is Mark.
You're going to tell everybody you're Japanese now? What is that?
All right, well, let's get started. Here's our lesson for today.
Wrap it up.
With Lisa
And Steven. 거기까지 어떻게 가요?
잠실이나 강남에 직행버스가 있어요.
내일 아침 10시쯤 잠실에서 만날까요?
그렇게 해요.
All right, as you can see, me and Stephen are trying to get somewhere, and we're saying, oh, what can we take? The bus. 거기까지 어떻게 가요? How do we get there? 거기까지 to there. How do we get there, Stephen?
Well, yeah, our key expression is so simple. Sometimes Korean is simpler than English, but the problem is in the context it could have many different meanings. But in this case, 어떻게 가? How go? There you go. Boom, done. How go? 어떻게 가요? Makes it more polite, right? We're saying, how do you get there is what we would say in English. In Korean, how go? 어떻게 가?
And our second line, 잠실이나 강남에 직행버스가 있어요. First, we want to know it's not the city, but the neighborhoods. We have Jamsil and Gangnam, pretty famous big neighborhoods. And they're saying they have a 직행버스, okay, a one-way bus that goes straight to there.
And so you go to Jamsil or Gangnam, and they have been so polite as to point out Jamsil for us. Notice it's not spelled Jamsil, it's Jamsil is the spelling, but the pronunciation, of course, is right in between that J and that CH, isn't it? Jamsil, right?
Gangnam would be right here.
Jamsil's over here. Gangnam's right here. Yonging's down here, right? You have
Way
to
down
go.
here.
You have to go way south, right? But that's why in the south of Seoul they have you can catch buses here or buses over here. Two very popular places in the south of Seoul. Seoul is almost like two cities, kind of. Especially when you live over in this kind of area. I live over here at Hongdae, and there's a lot of universities over here. Mm-hmm. You see some stations. Hongdae 입구 is short for 홍익대학교, right? Hongik University.
We shorten that. We just say Hongdae all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is Ide? You know Ide?
University.
Women's University.
Iwa.
Iwa, right? Iwa Women's University. Iwa Yode. They shorten that to Ide, right? There's a lot of universities that they'll shorten up with just two syllables. Yeah, the one syllable. What do they call it? 고려대학교? What would they call that?
고대.
고대. Right? They'll shorten. 고려대 is often used, but they'll often shorten
They
that
usually
to
use the
고대.
first syllable of each word and put them together.
And that's over closer to Haewa. You know what's that? Haewadong? You know what's over there?
Lots of great things. It's a party area.
Yeah, Daehangno. And that's the area with all the bars and cafes. They've got great cafes.
Lots of 극장 theaters and lots of live shows.
Small theaters. What a great way to study Korean. I don't know if we're going to get to that for an insight later, but go watch a little Korean play. It's a great way to do it.
Plays, yeah.
So, jikheng. Jik means directly, okay? Jikheng. Heng is, you'll often see when a train is going to a certain place, you'll see it'll say the name of the station. Shindorim is a big station. Shindorim Heng means the train will go all the way to Shindorim and stop, right?
Going towards a certain
going
direction.
to Shindorim. So Jikheng means a direct bus that takes you directly.
And if I asked you a question like, 여기 오늘 어떻게 왔어요? Okay, we're using kind of the base of what we learned in the first sentence. It says 어떻게 가요? 어떻게 와요? How did you come here? How did you come here today?
택시로 왔어요.
Oh, good. Okay, how did you come here?
지하철 타고 왔어요.
Nice, the subway. Okay. 내일 아침 10시쯤 잠실에서 만날까요? Here's a nice line to know when you're making promises with your Korean friends. Hey, shall we meet in Chamsil at 10 in the morning tomorrow?
내일, tomorrow, 아침 morning, and 10시쯤, about 10 o'clock. That 쯤 can be added on to the end of a time, sometime, and to say about, right? You could also say 10시 정도. I'm sure you've heard that one before too. 10시 정도, 10시쯤 잠실에서 만날까요? Remember, 만나다 is an active verb. Therefore, you say at. We're using 에서, right? 잠실에서 is the marker.
Okay, let's try saying this. 내일 아침 10시쯤 잠실에서 만날까요?
내일 아침에 10시쯤 잠실에서 만날까요?
Very good. Okay, and Lisa says, 그렇게 해요. Let's do that. Okay, and some people may ask, why do you say 해요? Like, why do we say let's?
Yeah,
well, I guess it kind of makes
We would
sense.
translate it more often into 그렇게 합시다,
Yeah.
because in English we would normally say, okay, let's do that, right? Instead of just do that, right? But in Korean, it's perfectly okay to say 그렇게, like that, 해요, do. So 그렇게 해요, and then of course Lisa and I follow that up with the old
these.
pinky swear. Yes, they do a lot of pinky swearing in Korea. It's very common
There we go.
to
Come
do the
on.
pinky swear. They even follow it up with, how's it
Okay,
go?
we got the
Lisa
promise,
knows better
the
than I know.
도장, which is like the
도장 찍고, the stamp,
and
right?
then
Here,
we sign.
sign, you
And then we
sign.
do the copy.
Copy.
Anyways, Stephen, what do you think about going to Korean Insight?
Yes, 그렇게 해요.
그렇게 해요? All right, let's go. Korean Insight.
Hey, and here's today's Korean Insight, ladies and gentlemen. Look around you. Here we are at the zoo. Isn't this a great idea? You go to the zoo, you go on a little safari. Okay, it's not really safari, but anyway, you go out to the zoo and you check out all the animals. You got your elephant over here, right? The elephant, you look next to the elephant. What's the sign say? We already know that's an elephant, right? But there's a sign that says 코끼리, and then what do you go? Oh, 코끼리. I learned a new word. And then there's a tiger. Oh, look at the tiger. And then what do you look? Oh, it says 호랑이. Boom, I just learned a new word. 호랑이 means tiger. And then we move on to, monkeys. Look at the monkeys. And the monkeys are 원숭이, right? As you walk around, you just read words and boom, you learn new words. What a great idea, isn't it? Isn't that just a new way to go about practicing and learning Korean? And now, back to the old studio.
All right, Stephen's already changed and back here to wrap up the grammar.
Yes, 거기까지 어떻게 가요? How do you get there? 어떻게 가요? And then we had 잠실이나 강남. Either 잠실 or 강남, right? That or in there is 이나, 잠실이나 강남에 직행버스. A bus that goes straight somewhere with no stops in between. 10시쯤, about 10 o'clock, and 그렇게 해요. Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right, well, let's go take one final look at our lesson today. I'm sure you're bound to use these expressions sometime soon, so try to repeat after our voices.
거기까지 어떻게 가요?
잠실이나 강남에 직행버스가 있어요.
내일 아침 10시쯤 잠실에서 만날까요?
그렇게 해요.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time for another edition of LSK. See you then. Bye-bye.
And in the meantime,
아리랑치기.
아리랑치.com.
bye-bye.